4,995 pounds, $49.95. This is a Gray Wolf 22RR here at Hardwood RV of Coldwater, Michigan. If you'd like to see if we have one in stock and available, visit the link in our video description. This is a cool model, and what I like about it is it's just a good camper. You don't even have to be interested in the whole rear ramp part of this, and I think that's what's kind of cool about this. If you have a bike or something like that that you want to tote around, it's good for that. It's well within the capacity of half-ton towability. But frankly, if you're just looking for a cool little couples camper with your own rear patio deck, this could serve that plan too. And that's what's interesting about this one. We sell this one about half the time to people who don't even have toys. It's just that good of a camper. So as you may have noticed, it's a beautiful Washington day here in southern Michigan with rain coming down in buckets, and that means I can't really showcase this one the way I would like to. I would like to have that ramp down with the ramp patio gate because that's a new addition, new upgrade at the time of this filming. The previous generations did not have that feature. But you know what? We're going to roll with it. The show must go on. And I respect our customers too much to allow it to just pour rain into the back of this thing and then close it up and sell it in good conscience. I'm not going to do that. Instead, what I want to do is I want to hone in on something I've talked about in previous videos but never really had a good opportunity to show. And that is that this camper is just a good camper. You don't even have to have the rear patio deck thing on this one. It's just a good couples camper. You've got this huge mega dinette that can fold down into something pretty close to the size of a king bed for sleeping if need be. You've got that free floating table. It's on an elliptical base. That's what's actually holding it up right now. You can take it outside. You can take it on the patio. You can use it here. It can fold down. It's very, very multi-purpose. And just like all the countertops in this RV, it has a sealed edge on the tabletop or the countertop or any top, basically. It's called thermofoil. Basically, it doesn't allow water penetration because it's got a sealed membrane on it, which is pretty cool. It makes this little trailer very multifunctional. So, I mean, you could use this just as a nice couples camper. Directly across from this bench, we have our entertainment hookups if you're so inclined to toss a TV into one of these. What's neat is you'll find matching hookups in the bedroom and outside, so you can actually float one or two TVs around the camper pretty freely. Something I want to really send home, though, is what is a Gray Wolf? Why does this trailer exist? What does it represent in the market? Because it's really easy to misconstrue what we're looking at. You're going to look at what looks to be a rather plain exterior, that brown exterior. I call this the red stripe edition for obvious reasons, the red stripe down the side. And you look at it and you're like, oh, this is just one of those basic entry-level campers. And that is an easy way to miss what is actually going on here. If you really look at the details, this is, I call it a Decepticon because there's more than meets the eye here. There's a lot going on. So again, how about the fact that this has that ramp patio system? You guys have to understand that even a full, true toy hauler, I don't call this a toy hauler, I call this a crossover. A true toy hauler is wide body, it's extra tall, it's extra heavy, it's extra expensive. This is none of those things. This is a standard body RV, 8 foot wide, 6.5 foot tall ceiling panel right here. It's a normal camper that just happens to have a rear ramp door. It's a crossover in the way that a Chrysler Pacifica is a crossover between a van and an SUV, if that makes sense. So what it allows you to do here is a lot of things that a true toy hauler can't. It's smaller, it's lighter, it's easier to manage, but it's the equipment package on here. Base level, starter point like true toy haulers, until recently, they didn't even have rear patio deck systems on them. Gray Wolf, Cherokee, they're the ones that kind of caused that to happen. Basically, the marketplace said, listen, if these guys with this little 22 foot, 8 foot wide small box can put a patio deck on the back of it, why can't you with your big bad toy haulers? So they do. Like our Wolf Packs, our Fusions, things like, our Impact Vapor Lights. Fusions always had a ramp deck. I mean, trailers, pardon me. They upgraded to include features like this now because of Gray Wolf. These guys are hugely influential trendsetters in this industry. Now let's start looking around. Like, we want to call this entry level, but we've got a full central air system that you don't often find in entry-level units. You'll find a lot of what's called a drop-in AC that's not centrally ducted. We've got all LED lights. If you look around the kitchen, you can see it lights right up like a Christmas tree with tons of lights right there. That stainless appliance bundle, real tile backsplash, that cool recessed sink and stove. This little camper would normally not have a lot of prep space, but by going with a recessed sink and stove and that waterproof countertop, they can give you decent prep space. Now what's nice is what they're doing here is that giant farmhouse sink, as it's called, but you'll notice not only do you have that giant stainless sink, but you've also got a sprayer faucet and a pair of plywood box drawers that are full extension. And they're plywood, they're not particle board with a sticker wrap. This is solidly built and exceptionally well equipped. If this had fiberglass skin, people would look at this and go, oh my gosh, that is a really well equipped high level unit, right? Because of all the stuff that it has. But simply because it has a wood skeleton, people tend to not realize what it is or what they're looking at. And you have to understand, guys, there are benefits to both styles of construction. Stick-built wood frame construction or aluminum skeleton construction. There are advantages both ways. This trailer is small enough and light enough that the primary benefit of laminated construction, and that is weight reduction, it doesn't matter, because if you would laminate a little trailer like this, you might save 100 pounds. So what you're saving instead is a huge chunk of your budget, because laminated construction is much more expensive. So these guys have the equipment complement of a high-level laminated unit, but in a more affordable shell. And it doesn't change the tow vehicle. There's not enough weight savings by going to lamination in a floor plan like this to change the tow vehicle. So all you would be doing is adding a lot of money. Now you might say aesthetically you like the look of the fiberglass skin better, but tell me this trailer doesn't look pretty cool on the outside. I think it does. Anyway, so skylight with a nice little sunshade right here, and this is like a little frosty sort of plastic insert so that you're not going to get direct beam sunlight like an ant in a magnifying glass, but you do always have the little shade here to pull that shut so you can get light, natural light bleeding through without all that extra heat. The stereo system here, I love its location because it's easy to reach from the door, but you do have inside-outside zones. You also can, it's Bluetooth, it's DVD, it can do a whole bunch of different fun things for you, basically. And if you do pop a DVD in, it will actually play, like, even outside. They all mirror and match together. The front end of this is also what I think has made the 22 and the 26RR Grey Wolves here at Haylett RV so darn popular. And that is because it is supremely travel-friendly, and it has a real bedroom. It doesn't have a janky corner bed, and that's what a lot of toy haulers are. A lot of toy haulers are a garage that you can sleep in. This is a camper that you can park a bike in. It's the flip side to that equation, if that makes sense. So whether you're at your campsite or you're traveling, you got an entry door, bang, you can get straight to the bathroom. Or you've actually got a dual entry bathroom, so you can get to it from either side of the bed quickly and easily. Or if you have like a grandkid over or something like that, they can be able to get to the bathroom without like having to go through your bedroom or distract you, or no privacy loss. Now check this out. This is something that the Cherokee Family Campers does really well. They put max size windows in anywhere they can. One of the things I like about those extra tall windows is, let's say this door's closed and you're laying on your bed. A lot of windows are mounted up here. Well, if you're laying in bed, you can't see out the window to your campsite. With that extra long window, you can. So you've got a little better campsite security and peace of mind that way. Foot flush stool. And actually, they have very nice bathrooms in the Cherokee and Grey Wolf family. And this is one of the things I like to focus on, is this awesome Max Air fan up here. This pulls a 6-mile-an-hour breeze through the camper. And that's why these bathroom doors are slotted slightly, because heat rises. Humans are heat machines. We create a ton of heat when we breathe, when we exist. We exude heat. And that all rises and forms a thermal blanket up here. And that fan will suck that hot air from your bedroom or living room up in here and exhaust the hot air while recycling with fresh, cool air from outside. Isn't that nice? Max size, largest in-class vanity and sink. Again, they're very good about intelligently equipped bath fixtures in here. And you'll notice we've got a split entry, easy step-in shower instead of a tub, with the skylight position where you can actually have headroom in here. They've nailed every little thing. Now, that is a real tile backsplash that actually matches the kitchen. They make sure that they hit the same notes in the same areas all the time. Now this bedroom it's simple, but and like at a glance, it's not like, oh, there's nothing a whole lot happening here. You're like, okay, so I've got USB and household outlets on both sides of the bed. I see that in a lot of campers, but oh, I'm gonna sneeze. Woo! Woo! All right, that was a good one. Anyway. But we have USB and household outlets on both sides of the bed, not one or the other. It seems like in most campers you'll get a set of USB plugs here, but not over there. Side stands for CPAP machines. You can keep all your phones charging. Full-length mirrored hanging closets are nice because you can actually hang tall clothes in there. And there's no sharp corner to jab your elbow or shoulders if you roll over. Now this is a short camp queen because this is intended to be a smaller, lighter weight package. But you do have room here. If you do choose to upgrade to a full queen, you could do that and still have the smallest amount of room to scoot around the bed. Now, understand, you're going to have to leverage walk around comfort versus bed length and sleeping comfort, and you're going to have to decide which one of those is more important. Now, one of the cushions from the two rear benches I just kind of stuffed over here to get it out of the way for the time being, but you do have matching TV hookups and one of those black brackets back there, just like you have in the living area. Make a quick pass there. Oh, geez. This is a toy hauler. I've been talking all about how it's a nice camper, but we've got tie downs all the way up here. You've got roughly, 12, 14-ish foot of loading space here. We can put a tape measure to it exactly. But there's like 100 different measurements in here. There's no way I'm going to be able to memorize every one of them. If you are concerned about how your thing is going to fit in here, you give our guys a call. They'll run out with a tape measure, and they'll measure the exact 1, 2, 3 things that you're looking for to make sure that this trailer will fit your thing. Now we've got these D-rings all over the place, and I like that they're recessed. They're not surface mounted, and they're 2,500 pound rated. These are actually screwed directly into the tongue and groove 5/8 plywood floor decking. And as long as the weather's crappy, let's go ahead and talk a little bit of construction out here so I can just do a quick flyby outside. Start at the floor. We've got 2x3 longitudinal floor joists on 12-inch centers. That is awesome. We've got 5/8 tongue and groove plywood floor decking like a luxury fifth wheel. We have, actually, on average, more wall studs on Cherokee and Grey Wolf products. They have an average of 12 inches on centers. Some are a little further apart, some are a little closer together, but their walls average out to 12-inch on centers. A good trailer has 16-inch on centers, so these things are really well built. We've got a 3/8 roof deck with bowed roof trusses, which allows for full walkability. So, I mean, you've got everything you need. You've got a walk-on roof. You've got a heavy-duty floor construction, which is carrying the bulk of your load here. We've got waterproof countertops. We've got the nicer cabinet hardware. You know, they spend more money on cabinet hardware so you can actually wrap your fingers around this. The stainless appliance bundles. Like I said, this is a deceptively well-equipped camper wrapped up in a hidden little shell. It's got a inverted candy-coated shell. So instead of looking pretty on the outside and then being milk chocolate on the inside, it's loaded with equipment with a seemingly innocuous exterior. That's what I like about this. It's something you can feel really proud of owning, knowing that you got a good deal, and you can tote it around without feeling too hoity-toity. You know what I mean? Alright, I'm going to step out there in the rain and get myself soaked and just have to suck it up for a little bit. Stay tuned! Now, it is raining a little too hard for me to probably keep all the raindrops off the camera lens, so if it gets a couple spots, I am sorry. Doing the best I can here. We do far too much business for me to wait for a sunny day to do camper videos. I have to get everything as it comes in with the volume of sales that we run through here. So instead of doing heavy explanations, I'm just going to do a lot of quick point outs, and if you have questions, give us a call. Right up front here, inside the baggage compartment, on a rainy day like today, you'll appreciate it, because anywhere that you have exposed wood around that baggage door, let me see if I can juggle the camera and umbrella with one hand. Yes, we can. You can see that that's actually got an anti-wicking treatment on it to keep the water from soaking in. Quick solar prep for a little portable solar charge plug. Now, right in front of that landing gear right there, in front of that jack, you actually have a gas grill quick connect. So if you do want to do some outside grilling, this is all plumbed to do so. The front of this camper has been ripped off and duplicated so hard in this industry. Cherokee started putting this smooth aluminum sweep on the front of their campers. It is extra thick aluminum. It's fully painted so you won't have potential fade issues, and it has been copied and duplicated all over this industry. Something I want to point out. Look up front here. Look at the A-frame on this chassis. Do you see how the A-frame, the tongue, is integrated into the chassis? That means the entire body of this camper sits lower. This rides on a completely custom engineered chassis that is custom cambered to the load demands of every floor plan. This is true of all Grey Wolves, not just this one. So this thing actually rides lower to the ground. That's why it has a double step instead of a triple, because it only needs a double step. Black tank flush, full outside shower, and all your hookups are in one nice handy little location. They do nitro fill on the tires. The idea behind that, with the molecule being smaller, you should experience less, what am I wanting to say, air bleed out of the tires. They also have little tire pressure monitors on the valve stems, so that if it goes under the appropriate PSI, it'll flip from green to red. Right in front of the rear stabilizer jacks, and that's something else I want to point out. There are a lot of copycats to these that I have seen not have as many stabilizer jacks, not have 4-corner stabilizer jacks, and that's just pure stupidity. You need those things on a toy hauler. You absolutely need them. But right in front of those rear jacks is a sewer hose caddy, which is awesome because you do have limited exterior storage on this, so that does help quite a bit. In previous years, they had a more narrow ramp door. Now they have a full max width ramp door with that patio deck system. But so that makes it easier to load. But notice too, you've got positive type latches on there. Those latches want to hold themselves shut so that the handles can't like jiggle open down the road. And they're self-locking basically, which is cool. But you can key lock them for security as well. Rain is coming down. The patio lighting on this is pretty cool. They have blue LED lighting under the awning and matching blue backlights behind the speakers around the outside entertainment center, which is pretty cool. Something a little bit different. Here's that, speaking of the outside TV hookups, there you go. Again, if you choose to add a TV to one of these, you've got the perfect place to put them inside in the living room, in the bedroom, or out here. Now, the MORryde stable steps, this step above system, it's just the best that's out there. There's 2 different vendors who produce something like this. I don't dislike either of them. MORryde is my preference because the steps are wider, so it feels safer and sturdier. Plus, if you pick it up off the ground, it doesn't twist and bend like an erector set. And the feet are adjustable, so it can kind of meet the demands of any campsite. Larger entry handle and an anti-slam entry door are standard on this, so that on a windy day, it doesn't go gusting and banging against the trailer. I would have liked to spend more time out here. Obviously, weather conditions not cooperating today. My apologies there. So if you have questions, which you probably do, all you got to do is give us a call here at Haylett RV. We are all factory trained. We've walked through the production line of Cherokee and everything else that we carry here at Haylett's. This is a fairly unique offering though. There are not a lot of other campers that really fit the bill like this. It seems like you either get a normal travel trailer or you get a big, heavy, expensive toy hauler. These crossovers are a rare breed and there's really no other snakebite like them. I like these things a lot. They do a great job. And they, they're hyper towable because they're not wide, they're not tall, they're not pushing your vehicle around. The tongue weights of these aren't out of hand like a lot of toy haulers. If you don't have at least 1,000 pounds in the garage, they don't tow for spit. And you don't have that problem here. So take care, stay safe, have fun, and happy camping, everyone.